Let's do it. All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play a Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. And here we go with another one of these. So, I was gone last week. Didn't ever have a good chance to do any streaming. Just a lot of family time stuff. So nothing serious, just spending more time with my family. So we're not doing as many of these streams as we used to do, but it's been a little while. So let's do one tonight. It's going to be a short one. Um, it was going to be a little bit longer, but honestly, um, I did that thing that I do on some Sundays where I end up accomplishing more than I should have while I'm just sort of prepping for the show. So so we've been working on our Penguin crew for Batman. So here's some of the Penguin crew, some of the remainder of that crew. And you can see nice Wu-Tang jacket on this guy. You got Penguin Elite Thug. He kind of has a penguin styled helmet. Mr. Combustible, right? No Wu-Tang symbol on him. I don't know. I do not understand the point of this guy. I think he should be 8 rep. I don't see any reason to take this guy ever at any time. He doesn't make any sense. Hypnotic is worth 30 points. He's worth 30 points. I mean, he can be if you can keep him long enough. He's got a Wu-Tang there. If you can keep him alive long enough to do like one hypnotize, he can be worth it. You got Molotov guy. Bro. Hey, what's up, Nelson? My guy. So, got Molotov guy there. Let me refresh this, make sure I'm getting my... There we go. We got crossbow penguin guy. He's like a crossbow with a gas mask. He's pretty cool. I like him a lot. And then last but certainly not least, Mr. Toxic, who has a skull and crossbones painted on his face. I love the characters, the Penguin Associate characters. So with that, plus the other guys that I did, Penguin is basically done. But what we're going to do tonight, and I have not even cracked open this yet. So all of my other Penguin stuff is done. I will need bikers at some point. And I may place an order for some bikers. But I have not cracked open this, so let's see what we got in here. There's our little penguins. And I don't think we get any stat cards in this, do we? So we're going to just build the rest of these tonight. And then I'm going to paint my way through these. And then once these are done, then the fun part begins, guys. Then we get to do Rohan. I'm going to start building stuff for Lord of the Rings strategy battle game. So tonight, this is what we're working on, guys. So, not going to be very interesting, but I needed to flip the camera on so that we could chat for a bit. Yeah, let's get the last of these penguins done here. And yeah, all these miniatures right now they're all going to be I'm going to call them homeless because I'm still waiting for my battle foam to show up so let's get ourselves a hobby knife. Let's do a little shaving here. This guy looks like he should have a bomb strapped to his back, so let's do that. Where am I getting? But yeah, glad you appreciate Penguin here. I have played one game with Arkham Knight Penguin, who's pretty cool, but there's still this crew is very complicated, so I'm gonna need some time to learn how to play them. Okay, I believe. Yeah, that looks like the explosive penguin. This is the minigun penguin. Where's the other? I think there's. Oh, he's the explosive penguin. Oh, this guy's got flash all over. So this is gonna require quite a bit of cleanup here on this penguin. So let's go ahead and let's just get to work here. So let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Yeah, and then, like I said, the majority of the penguin stuff is done. So really the only thing left to do for penguin anyways, once this is all done, is going to be to just invest in some bikers, because they're fairly important to the crew. And then really kind of dial in, right, this playstyle and decide if this is, I gotta decide if this is gonna be like an LVO, right? If this can be like my LVO team. Can I take this to LVO, play it, and hopefully perform pretty well. I'd have to think about what are the weaknesses of a penguin crew, right? What are my good matchups and my bad matchups? I would say right now, based on my only one game with penguin, that I'll probably struggle against crews, just in general, struggle against crews that can score incredibly fast, right? So I'm talking about Riddler, Batman, Joker. Those are crews that can score very quickly. So I'm gonna be somewhat weak against those particular crews. Also, the interesting thing about Penguin is, yeah, going after and killing the Penguin himself kind of blows, but it's not the end of the world. Penguin can still, it's still a decent crew even without him. And as his minions start to die, as the mobsters, as they start to die, the crew gets a bit easier to run because you get all those cool business counters. Okay. I better. There's just a lot of chit chat going on right now. Looks like we're all talking about I'm gonna say I'm good for now. Jake is asking me if I want any more drowned earth. I think I'm good. I'm good with the drowned earth I've got. I don't know. I don't. I'm. I just paid. I just paid for our vacation, our summer vacation next year, and I have property taxes due, so I can't be spending too much money right now. All right, so yeah, things are gonna be a little tight. Both my son's birthdays just passed, so I spent some money there as well. Is there something that's supposed to go there? I don't know. let's just glue it in and then let's see. This is the rocket penguin. So I believe I was supposed to get a rocket. And it does not look like I got the rocket. That sucks. Luckily, I do not run the... Alright. We're still trying to figure out my drowned earth order. Okay. I can clip a little bit here. Right, I'm just trying to get that part that sags a little bit. That should be good. Okay. Hopefully the rocket shows up. Maybe it's in the other bag. We'll see. Okay. And last but certainly not least, my favorite of the penguins, the minigun penguin. All right. So just gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. It's the penguin mechanic. Actually, in my opinion, is pretty cool. I disagree with Chris on the penguins. I think the being able to run your penguins while the crew's going can be pretty important. All right. And we gotta trim that. Okay. And oh, I gotta trim this bottom part too. Ah. All right. Yep. Still a big fan of BMG as my actual, we'll call it my actual thinking man's miniature game. Right? If I want a crunchier miniature game. All right. Okay, so now here's the main event. I thought the duck would be a little bigger. Is this supposed to go on a 60? I feel like it is, right? There's no way he just goes on a little 40, does he? Let me ask Sean. Let me ask Sean. That doesn't seem right, does it? Let's ask Sean. Oh, it's not working there. Let's see. And it looks like, the good news is, it looks like the rocket for the other... I'm going to take a picture of this. Hey. Hey, good morning, Shadow Cat. Alright. Let's see if... I'm just going to take a picture of that. And I don't... Yeah, maybe it does? I mean, it just like barely fits on there. Okay, wait. Hold on, Sean. There is no 50. I don't think this is the right... I don't think that's the right base. There's no way. Anyway. And that's so weird, like, you put him in... Hold on. Let's get him built. So, let me trim that off. I am putting together the penguin. Does this say? 5 bases, but it doesn't tell you. But yeah, for in the box art, right? That's a 60 millimeter base it's on. So this is not the right base. Let's see. All right. I can pull up the card. It does not say. Oh wait, it does. Yeah, 60 millimeter base. So, yeah, so they sent me the wrong base. Boo, KM, boo. All right, I'll have to send in customer service. I guess for now I can stick him on a... Kinda hate that, dude. All right. Let's, and look at that. There's a super bad flash there across the hand. That's a terrible thing of flash right there. It's like right across here. See if I can do this without slicing his fingers off. Okay. Yikes. It's cutting it pretty close. What I want to do with this penguin right now is I want to clean him up, and then I'm going to magnetize. Let's see. Why mine came with a 40. All right. So let's... Wait. So there's 2 different kinds of resin. You have this is the rubbery 3rd edition resin on the mini. And then the duck I got is on the 2nd edition resin, which is more Um, it's 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 more rigid. Okay, I'm almost got the hand where you can't tell. There's a there's like a crazy there's like a crazy flash line that went across his hand. Now he just looks like he's got kind of a clumsy hand. Doesn't look that bad anymore. Okay, that does not look bad. All right, so here's the issue. If I pull him off this base, I've got to put magnets, or I could just, I could just use the tab the way they want me to, and just pop them on and off the tab, right? They pretty clearly want me to do it that way. Which is just upsetting. I don't know. It's upsetting to me. I want to do a magnet there. But there's no good place to put the magnet. So this is what we got. I'm going to clip this excess off right here. See if that helps with the basing. I mean, it's decent. It is what it is. I guess I won't magnetize. That's just so frustrating. It's probably only frustrating to me. I may be the only person on Earth frustrated by that. But yeah, there comes a point where you can injure Penguin. Well, he has to be able to be able to go on and off the rubber duck. So that's why I can't. I'm not gonna pin him in there. He just needs to be able to go in and out like that, right? So I thought maybe I could just stick a magnet there, but it's okay. He'll be okay. I'll just paint him. I'll paint him onto the base like that, and then just glue him later onto the thing. But I gotta put in a customer service note to Unite to let them know to please send me the correct base. All right. And see that tiny little elbow there for the umbrella? That's gonna suck. And let's do this. I mean, I guess that's probably a really good solution for somebody who opened this box really not knowing that was going to be necessary to be able to go on and off the duck. Clean up the little ball joint here. All right. Hold on. So let's go ahead and glue that on. You're thinking him like just pin the holes in? I mean, it's actually not a terrible thought, but I might as well make use of the slot since they kind of want you to. Let's glue the rocket onto the rocket penguin. Shall we call the duck quackers? Why not? Not against that. Oh, I was going to ask you, Shadowcat. Have you tried the Drowned Earth? You tried out that game? We had our first go at it today, and I was fairly impressed, not going to lie. That's a pretty fun game with cool miniatures, a fun theme, and it somehow makes they somehow made a game that feels like Infinity without the annoying Infinity part. Right? It has a reaction system that did not piss me off. So I was pretty impressed. Meanwhile, Bushido is just depressing as shit for me. Bushido, I am truly depressed at how bad I am at Bushido. I have not been. I I haven't felt like that inept at a miniatures game in not since the very start of my gaming career have I felt so absolutely pointless playing a miniatures game. But like, I felt like Bushido made me feel like is making me feel like I'm just bad. Like I'm just like not. I'm like missing the point entirely. And I don't, I can't pinpoint if it's me making bad decisions or if it really is just the fact that the game relies so much on, being able to make dice rolls that I just have no chance at that game. Which, I mean, that is a possibility. Now, all my friends, the people I play Bushido with, um, they've offered up a number of things. It's, it's a combination of a lot of things, right? I'm not taking the right pieces, and I'm not taking the right pieces. I don't have, I'm selecting factions that are more difficult to win with. I mean, I'm even looking at the Longshanks data going, oh, wow, I have the lowest winning faction ever. So there's that. Look at all this. See, this is the one time it would have been good to use the rubbery resin, but we're using the hard resin on this, and it's just not good. And they're supposed to be okay. Okay, so if you haven't tried the Drowned to Earth, I would say give it a look. Look at the minis. This is kind of how I was with it. I looked at the minis. I said, okay, minis look cool enough to paint. That was it. That's all. I'm like, there's a faction I like the look of, and they're cool to paint. I'm in. So I bought a faction starter and painted up a faction starter. I think I bought 2 extra minis for my faction. Painted them up, and then I'm like, whenever the rest of the guys are ready, we'll play. I'll just have this in my back pocket ready to go, right? So So sure enough, today, today's our normal gaming day, and Bing says, yeah, he's gonna bring it, and Jake is in town, and we're like, okay, we're the three people that spent money on this, so let's figure out this game. So we did. We figured out we played a quick game of the Drowned Earth, and I was pretty entertained by it. It was a nice little breath of fresh air, considering I had just been obliterated in the Bushido game prior, right? I failed. I failed over 75% of my fear tests in Bushido. Let me explain to you what that is, okay? Let me explain to you what Bushido is. So, what that means is, okay? Um, so if you're trying to take a fear test, you roll two dice, and you're trying to get a score of 4. Okay, that's what my dice were looking at. I failed both, right? Because this is 2. In Bushido, a 1's worth nothing, so I failed a 4 fear test. I did that 75% of the time. Okay, so in order to pass a fear 4 test, your odds of passing it, you have to roll 3 on one die. To roll 3 on one die, and at least a 2 on the other dice, right? So, um, so it's 66. So the two things have to happen: 66 plus 86, right? Or 66 times 86. For what are your odds of succeeding, right? Let's break out the calculator. So 66 times 86. Oops. And it's 57%. Okay? You should be able to get this 57% of the time. That still seems low. That still seems low. Because, right? It still seems low. 86% of it's got to be over 60%, but I couldn't hit it 25% of the time. Let's see. My copy of Blizzard Force is stuck in the hold on. Can't read. Stuck in the sorting office. How did that water base work out in the end? Oh, the water base was good. My miniatures are in my car, but yeah, they look pretty good. All right, so let's just continue to clean this off, right? Right, I'm just gonna shave that down. Yeah. Yeah, those minis look the minis look good. It's a fun game. We'll see how I feel a few games from now when my dice inevitably revert back to hating me. All right. Make sure I'm good here. We look pretty good. Okay. So the bummer part is I am going to just glue this together, but not stick it on a base. Right. So glue that together. It's so weird. It's like 3 or 4 different batches of resin here, and they're all a little bit different. Okay. I'm gonna assume that's the front. At least it goes together super easy. That's nice. let's set that aside and let that dry. I think we're looking pretty good. Is there any other like major cleanup here for penguin? A little bit right there. Maybe I can just get it with my fingernail. Sometimes you can. Doesn't look like I was able to there. Yeah, that mold line on the hand though was pretty atrocious. For painting, what I'll have to do, I'll stick a little blue tack. Yeah, stick a little blue tack in the tab. Make sure I'm good to go. Do this like super thin. And I'll pull that out to you. I mean, if you'll wait, if you'll hang on a second, I actually will run to my car and get it, because I kind of want to get them, because they're cool looking. Let me just put that blue tack like that. Squeeze him into the base. That did not work as well as I hoped it would. Hold on. I need a dull blade now to pull this off. There we go. I just need to be able to paint it. Alright? Uh-oh. I got a visitor. A little tiny little cat showed up in here. Okay. He's gonna attack my legs, probably. Alright. So get the little blue tack off. Oh, what are you eating? That better not be harmful. Oh, that's pretty harmful. No, don't eat that. That'll kill you. That was bad. Good thing you brought that to me. You should not eat that. How about don't eat foam either? Okay. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go. Got a little cat in here, so if you hear any fuddling around, it's a cat. Let me run out to my car and go get the drowned earth stuff for you. Be right back. Okay. So we are back. Let me get this out of the way for a second. Man. Yeah, that's annoying. I didn't have a 60. Anyway, let's go ahead and open these. Yeah, so some comments. I think you guys have heard this comment before, but the cards are terrible for the Drowned Earth. It's probably my biggest knock on that game. See how, okay, on camera it's much easier here to read, but can you imagine trying to read? See how light gray that is? Put it out here. You know how hard that was to try to read in the store? Like, whoa, I thought I could read well. Cards are not the worst part of the game. The cards. The cards are the worst part. I already complained about the poor symbology, and then they get all beat up when it gets to you. This one has like so many dents all over it. You can't see much on camera, but that card is super beat up. Anyways, put that there. So that's the bad news. The cards for the game suck. The good news, the minis for the game are awesome. Okay? Hey, what's up, Jason? The minis for the game are great. Looks like I got a little bit of muck on here, but so you can see the water turned out okay. Right, left kind of a wet look there on this guy. I didn't get to try out the dwarf guy today, but he is supposed to be pretty good in combat. So, but yeah, the water was okay. It's that puddle effect stuff that I'm using. Anna, I haven't figured out what she does yet. Her stats seem kind of terrible. Her gun is like super weak, but it does like a smoke effect, so I gotta look into that, what that does. Wait, I'm not getting the best. But the expression and the pose is super cool on her. I just have to figure out like what she actually does. This guy's pretty awesome. Slisthek guy. He has stealth. So he's stealthing across the board, pretty sick. And his they call it's a Ruger. They're calling it a Ruger. I like to pretend it's a Colt Python, but okay, maybe he couldn't afford anything but a Ruger, so he got a Ruger like a 357. Yeah, on the card text, right. Here's the unmounted version of the boss, Nyx, who is super good. She's super good boss. You can see the little water there, the water effect on her foot. So she's good. My man Sage is such a good sculpt. That is such a good sculpt. He's checking out a chameleon. Great sculpt. All right, and then just the coolest thing. Probably need to maybe spend a little bit more time on this little pterodactyl up here, but here's the mounted Nyx on a Utah Raptor, and she's pretty dope. She was the star of the show. Her and Sage are really good, but mounted Nyx is pretty awesome. So yeah, that's my Drowned Earth minis. I have and it's good. The timing was good too because I got my Play It Painted D10s. So I have my own. So I got custom D10s, right? And then this is my feet dice, and you could just see what an ugly piece of garbage this dice is, right? I told Lex to find. I'm like, find me like a really. I asked her for a fancy D10. I'm like, I want a D10, or well, actually, my words to her was I need a D10 that I can just instantly recognize. And she probably spent the better part of like last Sunday looking through the dice cabinet. And she brings me this thing, and I'm like, man, that is the ugliest D10 I think I have ever seen in my life. I'll take it. Right? So she got this for me, and this thing was, and again, the point of the game is to roll low, and this thing was just like, bam, right there on the one, right? When there was a point in the game where Bing had he had his ape with a big old Gatling gun, and my ape was running across the board trying to escape, and um he's like, and I was like, oh man, he's got me dead to rights. Like I'm making a bad move, but I need to get across the board. So I slam it across the board, and he shoots at me, and I have to roll this thing, and sure enough, and it just like bam, feet, right? So I just like, and at the same time, his gun jammed. It was so crazy because the game. Jason may not like this game because rolling high is bad in this game. So Bing rolled double eights, and if this was Wrath of Kings, I would be so pissed, right? But in this game, um, he rolled double eights, which means his Gatling gun jammed, and I rolled this like bam, and I just slid right past and was able to keep my AP. So Nelson, if you want to play a low dice game, look at that, I feed it again. This is the best. We need to have a name for this dice. I'll ask Lex to name it for me because it's like thing was MVP for me in that game. So, but yeah, that is like the ugliest D10 I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so yeah, Drowned Earth it's a lot of fun. It's a pretty fun game. It went pretty fast, even when we didn't know what we were doing. And it's really super interactive with terrain. So it's not just, these other games where I think a lot of game design, and I'm not faulting them for this, but a lot of game design, they want to have terrain play a very specific role, right? Most games, the terrain is gonna be like a deciding point. Do you get cover? Do you not get cover? Whereas in this game, interacting with the terrain is probably the most. It's more critical in this game than virtually any other game I've ever played. Interacting with terrain and your board is, your how the board is set up is so critical in the game. And I like that because it's, like I said, so many games are just walk up, measure range, attack. Whoever rolls more dice wins, right? And you still have a factor of that in this game because of the fact that you are making like so many skill checks. That yeah, you're gonna want you. It's like Bushido. You still have to. You're still gonna roll a lot, but it can have an impact in your game because you're doing skill checks all the time. So, and that's I'll say it kind of has the similar weakness as Bushido, but it's just that this particular weakness is better for for my skill of rolling, which is consistently low. Right? So that's why I'm like, yeah, this game is pretty cool because I was beating Bing in like almost all the head-to-head rolls, which is, like you guys know, it's flip-flop when we play Bushido. People just freestyle on me. Let me play Bushido. Oh my gosh, this cat is... Oh! He almost destroyed... You okay? Little cat. Alright, let's get these mounted up. I probably should not stay on much longer because I got a little cat jumping all over the room. But yeah, the goal this week, we'll finish painting Penguin. We'll have him, he'll probably be done in the next couple of nights, I would imagine. Right? Because it's not much, but it's just a bummer that I do not have the, I don't have the proper base for the duck. I think in the meantime I do have a 60 base I could push around if I actually got desperate enough. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, not that. I'm not that. I'll figure it out. So, but yeah, Drowned Earth. It's fun. I think Nelson, if you're just cursed for dice rolling in general, then yeah, it's probably going to be the same or similar result as Bushido. Man, I could not believe. Well, of course I can believe how badly I roll in Bushido. I would say Jake and Bing were shocked at how absolutely terrible I was rolling for Bushido. But part of that too is like I just don't have the. I don't know. I don't feel like the crews I picked. I feel like there are some crazy crew imbalances in that game. I feel like that. I feel like everybody, if you were to compare it to M3E, you know how like M3E, pretty much we always say like every crew when it's running well should feel broken, it should feel overpowered, like um, right? It should all feel broken. I feel like I'm playing Mayfeng, like my two teams for Bushido are like the equivalent of like Mayfeng and Brewmaster. I might have just picked the two worst teams to play in that game. So, I don't know. Should I? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing if I just primed. Prime and then call it, probably. Let's do that. Shouldn't take too... Actually, I probably shouldn't. It's late. I need to put my son to bed. He's awake still, and I'm not sure how or why. I need to get him to bed for school tomorrow. But yeah, I'll work on these this week, and then we're gonna be painting up some Rohan, right? And then hopefully Chris or Nelson, you guys can teach me how to play. I gave the rule book to Jake, which is probably a mistake. Probably should have kept the rule book for myself, but that's okay. I think I have to buy like a $50 rule book. I think the rule book's like $50 or something, right? Or you guys can point me to where I can get the rules. I think the rules are free for Lord of the Rings, so. Anyways, yeah, that I know it was a super short stream, but here, let's run through so you guys can see. If you guys didn't tune in earlier, you didn't see the Penguin. You didn't see Wu-Tang Penguin crew. All the guys. So this is only half the crew. The other half is already done and put away. But if you guys can figure out an actual use for Mr. Combustible, I would be very interested in here. I think he's the biggest waste of points in BMG, possibly. He may possibly be the single worst model in the game for BMG. Seriously, this might be it. This might be the worst model in the game. No, and I don't mean mini, because the mini actually looks super cool. crossbow guy, pretty cool. Hypnotic is super cool. Look at Hypnotics with his. He's got Wu-Tang on his suit. Hypnotic is sick. You got Molotov guy. And then you got Mr. Toxic. Mr. Toxic's pretty sick. Alright guys, so yeah, that's gonna do it for our video because I know it's super late over here, so I gotta get my kid to bed, but yeah, Penguin Crew rolling along despite not having our base, but I will go ahead and send in my customer complaint. But with that, that's going to do it for our video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys.